All right, so we have one polynomial plus another polynomial. And essentially what we're doing here is combining like terms. So looking at 4RT, is there another RT term? In order to combine the like terms, you have to have the same variable and the same exponent. Okay, so the same degree and the same variable. So RT, is there another RT? Yes, there is, right over here. So these two go together, and 4RT and 8RT is a 12RT. Okay, let's look at the next one, negative 3RW. So is there another RW term? Over here there is. Okay, so then we have a negative 3RW and a negative 4RW. When we combine that together, we get negative 7RW. Great. All right, what about this 8TW term? Negative 8TW, and this is a TW. So those can go together as well. All right, so let's combine these terms. We have a negative 8 and a positive 5, so that's a negative 3TW. Okay, let's take a look at another one. All right, here we go. So we have this polynomial plus this polynomial. It's important to make sure that you understand the operation that's happening. Do not think that right away you might be multiplying. There is definitely a plus sign right here, so just make sure you're doing the right operation. We are adding polynomials, which means we're looking for the same variable and the same degree, which is the exponent. Okay, so let's look at the constant. We have a constant here of 10, and we have any more over here? Yes, we do. We have this one here. Okay, so right there we have a negative 7. Okay, great. So, and now let's look at the 8R. So we have an R term. Do we have any more R terms? Yes, we do. All right, so we have an R term here, and we have an R term here. That's 8R. That's a 4R. So when you add it together, you get what? 12R. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, we have a R squared term, another R squared term. Okay, great. So what do we get when we get that together? We have a negative R squared and a negative 8R squared, which is a negative 9R squared. Okay, and the only thing I'm going to do now is that if you did write it backwards like this, or you just wanted to write it in standard form, which means the greatest degree goes first. So this would be here, negative 9R squared plus 12R, and then minus 7. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at another one. I know you're excited. You see fractions, so you get really hyper and joyful. Yes. Or maybe you don't. Either way, don't make the fractions a big deal. They don't have to be. It's really not that bad. All right, here we go. So let's look at the g squared terms. Again, we're looking for the same power, okay, degree, exponent, and with the same variable. So this is a g squared term, this is a g squared term. They can go together because they're like terms, okay? So we're adding a half g squared and a 2g squared, which is a 2.5 g squared. Why don't we put that in fraction form, okay, as a ratio? So that's 2, 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2g squared. Can we just do a little round the world? 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2. So 5 halves g squared. Okay, great. And what's the next term? Do we have a g term? Just one? Okay, fine. So let's write that next. Negative 4 over 5g comes next. Okay, and then we have two fractions. We have 5 halves and 1/4. Okay, so maybe you got a little rusty on adding fractions. Let's do the work down here really quick. We have 5 halves and 1/4. What do we need? We need a common denominator, so you just got to double this to make it 4 over 10 plus 1 over 4. And now we can add fractions, okay? You keep the denominator the same. 4, 10 plus 1 is 11. Okay, so then it's plus 11 over 4. And we are done there. Okay, here's your final answer. 5 half g squared minus 4/5 g plus 11 over 4. All right? What's that? You want to do one more? Absolutely, no problem. Okay, we have 3x squared plus 5x minus 6x squared plus 8 minus 5x plus 3. All right, so we got a few things going on here. Same thing, we're going to make sure that we combine all the like terms. We want to be careful when you have a parentheses and before you have a minus sign. Okay, so you want to distribute this minus sign. You could pretend it's a -1. So essentially what we're doing is reversing everything in here, reversing the sign. So if you would write it one more time, and then you can just have this part opposite, that would be ideal. So 3x squared. This right here we can take out of parentheses. We don't need it. Plus 5x minus 6x squared plus 8. And now this is going to be a negative 5x. And now this is going to be a negative 3. Okay, let's look at the x squared term. Fine, we have a 3x squared and we have a negative 6x squared. Any more? Nope. 3x squared and negative 6x squared is a negative 3x squared. Okay, great. So let's look at the x term. We have an x term here and we have an x term here. That's a 5x and a minus 5x. That is done, so that cancels out. Okay, then we have an 8 and minus 3, which is 5, so plus 5.